a one-fight matchroom deal with Eddie Hearn, and I think that's with the Billy Joe Saunders fight in mind on in Cinco de Mayo. So one thing about Canelo, man, one thing that I do like about him is that he's the #1 fighter in the world, according to many, and he's mapping out his schedule. You know, he fought in December. He's back out.
I've got to check it there. I've got to check it there. What is there to like about that? Him fighting Anthony Yildirim?
Not enough fighters are doing it. Like,
Anthony Yildirim. He's coming.
He's keeping up. What are the other fighters doing?
Why is he not fighting a more meaningful challenge? Why is he not fighting Benavidez or Charlo?
He's fighting Anthony Yildirim. Then his aim. What he said was his aim was to become undisputed super middleweight champion. So he's fighting Anthony Yildirim because that was a fight that was sanctioned or whatever by the WBC. We know there's politics there, but it's a stay busy fight. I don't mind if a person takes a stay busy fight if they're active, because he's already mapping out his future. He's got Billy Joe Saunders in May. He fought Callum Smith in December. Anthony Yildirim in February. What are the other top fighters doing? They fight once.
Listen,
for like 6 months.
That of all the fights you've mentioned on the show this week, that is by far the least attractive one. He's going to run through Anthony Yildirim. How did Anthony Yildirim get sanctioned as a mandatory for that title? Seriously, I mean, you just got to wonder what's going on here. It's ridiculous, that fight is. And at the same time, we're learning through social media that he turned down vast sums of money to fight Jermell Charlo. He's clearly not interested in fighting Benavidez at this time. It's just disappointing.
His target is to be undisputed. How could you be against that?
I'm very against it because he's not fighting the best fighters. He's fighting Anthony Yildirim, which is what. Listen, shall I tell you what Anthony Yildirim is most known for? His claim to fame is getting knocked cold by Chris Eubank Jr. inside 3 rounds. So a fight with Anthony Yildirim makes absolutely no sense to anybody apart from those in the for a financial point of view and for Canelo. It's a
Hold on, wait. The bigger picture is he wants to be undisputed champion at super middleweight. The title holders at super middleweight are Billy Joe Saunders, Canelo, and Caleb Plant. He last fought in December. He picked up the belt from Smith. He's having a stay busy fight now. All right, it's an easy fight. And then he's going to fight Billy Joe to take.
The reason why I'm so against it is because it's not a meaningful fight. It's a nonsense fight against, with respect, a not very good opponent. It's a nonsense fight. And when you consider the guys that he could be fighting, Jermell Charlo, Benavidez, Caleb Plant.
Well, Charlo's a middleweight. He's not a super middleweight.
No, but he said that he wants to fight at super middleweight or middleweight. He said that. He's been open in saying that. Benavidez has been calling out Canelo for the longest time.
None of them got better.
Caleb Plant says he wants that fight. They're just getting like pushed to the side while he devours Anthony Yildirim. Come on, man. It's a joke thing.
But he wants to be undisputed super middleweight champion.
He can say that. He can say that. But what I'm saying is the actions do not compare to the words.
How's it saying that?
No, because why are you fighting Anthony Yildirim? Who is he?
Yeah, but it's a warm-up fight. It's a stay busy fight until May. The reason why he's signing with Matt is
I am not impressed with that not one bit.
The Yildirim fight you're not, but he's fighting Billy Joe in May. He said this year.
Well, we will see. We will see. But what I'm saying is, what we do know is that he's fighting Anthony Yildirim, and that fight sucks. It sucks big time to me. You know what I mean? So you can say, what I'm saying to you right now is, you could say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, but the actions are not comparable with the words.
No, he's showing more to me. He's showing more to me than a lot of other fighters because this is a stay busy fight, cool. But Billy Joe Saunders is close to being signed in May. And then that's one step.
How long have we been saying that?
Well, it was already put in other than the coronavirus last year, which halted it from happening. I think
we need, listen, Canelo is not the only one, but he's an example of what I call the three-headed monster in boxing, right? The three-headed monster being, as I said to you last week, number one, ducking, right? And he's clearly been ducking the best fighters at that weight class, right? Now, there's a difference between ducking and scared and whether he could beat them. Who knows? He might well go on and beat these guys, but he's clearly ducking them at the moment. He's ducking the likes of Charlo, Benavides, and people like that. Okay. Second on that three-headed monster is cherry picking, and that's what the Avni Yildirim is. It's cherry picking. You're calling it a warm-up. I'm calling it cherry picking. And then the third on that monster, the third monster, is the Peds thing, which is a 2 times drugs cheat. So in many ways, as much as I like watching Canelo in the ring, I like him displaying his skill set, and I appreciate his talents as a fighter. He's a big part of the problem in today's boxing. He's not the only one. And I want to make that clear, because I know you were going to go in and mention Errol Spence. Yes, I'm on his case as well, the way he's treating Terence Crawford. And there are other names that come to mind. You know what I mean? We've only got to see what's happened with the Ryan Garcia.